Myles, we have not talked to you since your last speeding incident. What is it like to be in that car and seeing that speedometer creep up toward 100, like 1 mile per hour?
I'd honestly rather talk about football on this team than anything I'm doing off field, other than the back to school, event that I did the other day.
But still, I mean, people want to know about that.
People want to know a lot of things, but I try to keep my personal life personal. And I'd rather focus on this team when I can.
So, you're not willing to say if you learned anything from that incident or vow not to do it again or anything like that?
I'd rather talk about something that's more, focused on this team and what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish.
How's this camp been different for you?
Them giving me more of a, I want to say leeway, but giving me more of a platform, I should say, to lead where I can. I feel like there were some spaces where they were a bit hesitant to allow me to take over, and not just on the field, with my play, but with some different things that we're doing.
Just outwardly, conversations.
Yeah, conversations. What we're doing throughout the day. Just how the flow of the day goes. Just trying to be involved and try to get what's best, for the guys and be as efficient as we can throughout the day.
Are you expecting to play Saturday, and then also too just your thoughts on how this camp and preseason have gone for you to get you ready for the upcoming season?
I'm definitely ready to play. If my number's called, then I'm definitely suiting up and ready to go. Fortunately, got the pleasure of going against Lane and Jordan. Those guys are tremendous at what they do, and it's always fun going over there. They receive us well, and it's always great work going against them. They're two of the best at their craft.
Hey, Myles, I'm sorry, but this is important. So you talk about being a leader. So what kind of a leadership does that show when you get pulled over by the cops?
Again, you're asking the same question, and I've answered it 2 different times. So I'm gonna need you to ask a different question so I can focus on this team and not this headline you're trying to get out of this question you're asking.
Myles, do you feel like you're having an impact in the way that you're going about your leadership role in a different way this game?
I do. I've heard that from multiple accounts, whether that's from players and coaches, about the a bit of a style change I've had this year, and being a bit more minute with the attention I give and details that I bring, and making sure the guys are bringing that same detail to the game. Everybody being on the same page.
Is this self-driven, or were you urged to be this way by anybody, or encouraged, I should say?
No, just self-driven. It's going to go as far as I want it to go, and we're only as strong as the weakest link, and I feel like I've got to continue to improve and find a way to elevate my teammates, not just myself.
Myles, you've been complimentary of Joe since 2023, and then since he came back. What was your reaction? Maybe it was an expectation that he'd be named the starter. And what do you think he can do for you guys heading into the season?
Man, I think anyone who's doing it over 35 is special. They always tell you to watch out for an old man in a career where young people dominate and old people die young. So, he having the knowledge that he does, the wisdom that he does, being able to bring that to his room and sharing that with them, helps them, but it always helps us. Them always being on the same page, ready. But he's the guy who's able to see it the best right now. We're ready to rock with him because he has that game experience, and he's shown that composure for years now, and we're glad to have him on our side.
Do you see signs of the defense getting back to 23?
I think so. I think there were lapses in focus, lapses in discipline. When we need to be sharper, whether I was in here or on the field. And I think that it kind of leaks out. How you are every day is how you are when you need to be that person. So I think how we've tightened up the ship and we've sharpened everything. I think we'll continue to get better, and we'll show not only glimpses, but that we were and are that 2023 team.
said you've heard from other people. How would you describe your change in leadership style?
Like I said, just more focused. You know, more willing to be more vocal, and you know, a lot of the guys know me as relaxed. I'm always willing to help mentor or give advice, but also just being, you know, the biggest critic as well. You know, as well as you did it, you know, we can always do it better. I think that way for myself, and I critique myself very thoroughly, and you know, just, you know, showing the guys, you know, how I think and how I try to improve, and you know, try to instill that upon them.
Myles, what do you think it'll take? The defensive line looks so dominant here in camp, in the preseason. What's it going to take for you guys to bring that now to the regular season?
I think the only thing that will stop us is us. You know, as long as we run the calls that, you know, that Schwartz gets out there, we're all on the same page. I think the sky's the limit, and we just got to continue to, you know, be disciplined in our technique and what we're called to do during that certain play. And you know, I'm happy with the progress that we made and what we can do.
It seems like when we talk to Jim or Jock, like they're always talking about holding you to that next level in terms of your production on the field. I guess as years have gone on with them, how do you feel about that standard they kind of set for you production-wise, and what do you for this year?
I absolutely love it. You know, I love that they know that there's more out there for me, and you know, they wouldn't say it if, you know, it wasn't true. And I've thought this same thing, and it's about having a plan and executing it that can, you know, beat these chips, beat these doubles, and find a way to get, you know, just a few more one-on-ones and continue to, you know, increase my production.
And what was it like last week? I know you and Jordan, my lot of our friends, but to kind of see his reaction after going against you 2 days in practice, and he got asked, like, how do you stop him? He was like, I still don't know. Like, when I figure it out, I'll tell you. So what's that kind of like to go up against, you know, second team All-Pro guy like that?
I mean, it's a hell of an honor. You know, he's special. You know, he's big, he's strong, he's very athletic, and you know, it's a really iron sharpens iron, you know, situation when we go against each other. You know, with you know, how talented he is at the position. I'm glad to be able to go against him, you know, this early, to, you know, see how I'm feeling, you know, how I'm recovering, and also, you know, just, you know, working my technique, working my craft, and you know, he was very happy to do the same.
How did you feel like you came out of that? Because you looked like you lined up a little bit on the left side, also against Lane a little bit also.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much did you feel like you really got? I mean, what was sort of your, you know, assessment of those 2 days for you in the defense as a whole?
Lots of learning, you know, just going through my mindset, you know, before the play, just analyzing the field and what's going on. You know, a team like that, and they're going to try to slow you down and play with your eyes. And you know, fortunately, they left a lot of one-on-ones, and I know during the season there will probably be, you know, different situations with chippers of all different kinds. But you know, just going through that mental checklist so that I don't have anything. You know, when I snap the ball, I don't have to think. I don't have to worry about anything. I'm just going, and I think, you know, that kind of focus right before the ball was snapped really helped me, especially against, you know, those guys.
Hey, Myles, how scary is it to see Denzel leave yesterday? Just how important is he to doing what you guys are trying to do on that side of the ball?
I mean, he's as important as it gets. You know, rushing coverage work together, and you know, it's my brother out there. I can't do what I do without him, and vice versa. So I'm glad to see him come back in the building and doing well. But you know, we just have to be careful and take care of ourselves and, you know, pick our brothers up when we can.
You get asked all the time
Go
about
ahead, this last
2023 defense. What about 2023 Flacco? You guys won 4 games in December with him. Do you think he still has that?
I do. And I think he does too, and that's more important than anything. So, you know, he's excited to go out there and show it. You know, he's, you know, cool as can be, and he's ready for the moment.